Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is the last prophecy update of 2022 entitled, It is Coming. Concerning a peace treaty in the Middle East, on December 14th, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu repeated his belief that an Abraham Accords normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia would lead to an agreement with all the Arab nations and eventually to peace with the Palestinians. Netanyahu said, quote, I intend to pursue it. Concerning a peace treaty in the Middle East on December 14th, the European Union Parliament said the next Israeli government should make a clear commitment in favor of the two-state solution, or a commit to the division of Israel, something that will trigger the Battle of Armageddon. The resolution called for a European, home of the Antichrist, who will confirm a peace treaty, Daniel 9:27, to lead the peace process, and it says, two sovereign democratic states living side by side in peace and guaranteed security, with Jerusalem as the capital of both states and in full respect of internal law. Concerning the global energy crisis on December 16th, the International Energy Agency reported that coal demand has hit an all-time high. With winter and blackouts looming, the deliberate shortage of natural gas has caused the demand for coal to soar. One would think climate change advocates would be upset about people freezing to death, but they seem more upset by the increased use of coal. Concerning the U.S. economy and deceit, on December 13th, Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia said that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics overstated the March through June 2022 employment numbers by more than 1 million people. Concerning natural disasters during the tribulation period, a star will fall from heaven, burning as a lamp. It will pollute a third part of the rivers and streams on earth, and many that drink them will die. In 2022, there has been at least a dozen verifiable reports of very bright fireballs in the sky around the world. On December 18th, a very bright fireball exploded over China that caused a loud boom, damaged a cement road, broke street lights, shook and broke windows. Citizens in the area gathered several suspected fragments from the fireball for the Chinese government, and one suspected fragment was more than 3 inches long and weighed about 7 pounds. On December 17th, a large freak wave struck a beach in South Africa. 3 people were killed and 17 others were injured. The National Weather Service is predicting that a prolonged, much below normal, perhaps record-breaking and life-threatening Arctic front will cover a large portion of the U.S. just before Christmas, and officials are warning that power outages are a real possibility, which we have just seen. On December 20th, a 6.4 earthquake shook Northern California, causing power outages, gas leaks, and widespread damage of homes. At least 2 people were killed, and at least 11 were injured. Concerning wars and rumors of wars, on December 15th, it was reported that Russia has loaded its second nuclear missile into a silo. The missile is reportedly capable of carrying 15 nuclear warheads and threatened to fire it on London in the UK if Ukraine attacks Russian territory. On December 19th, it was reported that Henry Kissinger said a nuclear war caused by Ukraine is imminent. Concerning the distress of nations, on December 19th, Israel's intelligence ministry issued an assessment of world events that will be coming over the next 10 years. The Jerusalem Post obtained a copy of the report and said the world is in a transition point to being on the verge of a cliff, after which a series of crises striking simultaneously will reorder the planet's geopolitics, the place of technology, the economic order, and a variety of other disciplines from health to energy. Concerning the division of Israel, on December 19th, it was reported that the new government of Israel will be installed in the next 2 to 3 days. World leaders, including the UN, the European Union, and the Biden administration, are going out of their way to warn the new conservative Israeli government not to annex settlements or change the status quo on the Temple Mount. They want to divide Israel and Jerusalem, and they are pressuring Israel to agree to it. The Bible clearly teaches that dividing Israel and Jerusalem will trigger the Battle of Armageddon. Concerning famine and food shortages, this week, a reader sent a link to a video of Glenn Beck interviewing Carol Roth. Roth said that the Netherlands is the second largest food producer in the world. Roth reminded viewers that those that control the food can control the people. The government is deliberately putting farmers and ranchers out of business in the Netherlands, and Beck said he thinks it is the biggest threat to all of us because it will lead to global starvation. Beck added that this is coming to the U.S. and Canada, and that the WEF said, "We will redesign how we produce and consume food from the seed to the fork." Therefore, the government of Netherlands is cutting the use of fertilizer, limiting how many cows people can own, buying thousands of acres of farmland, and taking it out of production. Deliberate food control, mass starvation, and population control is coming. Canada is already reducing the amount of fertilizer farmers can use. The U.S. is buying land out west, paying farmers to not farm farmland, and stopping farmers from grazing cattle on some federal land. Concerning world government, on December 20th, the New American posted an excellent article by William Jasper about the 2022 UN Biodiversity Conference in Canada. It was a regular meeting of climate change extremists who are determined to save Mother Earth from natural disasters, rising sea levels, floods, droughts, wildfires, supposedly created by man's pollution and excessive consumption. Jasper reported that they agreed to 4 goals called the 30 by 30 Initiative. By 2030, they will forbid people to use 30% of the world's land, water, and marine areas. By 2030, they will raise at least perhaps more than $200 billion per year to fund biodiversity causes. By 2030, they will reduce subsidies by at least $500 billion to entities that are harming nature. By 2030, developed countries will give developing countries at least $30 billion per year for biodiversity causes. Jasper points out that the real objective is power for them to reset the world according to their agenda, their morals, transforming our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. He reminded readers that Biden signed an executive order on January 27, 2021, that commits the U.S. to conserve, not allow mining, farming, drilling for oil, at least 30% of U.S. lands and waters by 2030. Finally, are you rapture ready?